All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea, something that can help you break through those barriers you think are holding you back. This is the architecture of invisible confidence. So let's just start with a big question. What if your limits, the things you tell yourself you just can't do, what if they aren't actually real? Seriously, what if they're just a story you've been telling yourself for years? To even begin to answer that, we've got to first understand a really common problem. I'm talking about the trap of I can't. Oh, you know this feeling. We've all been there. You set a goal, you try to build a new habit, and then bam, you hit this invisible wall. And that little voice in your head gets super loud, right? It's saying, see, I knew it. I knew I couldn't do this. It feels like the absolute truth. But what is really going on there? Is it a lack of talent, a flaw in your character? Nope. The real source of that trap is actually much simpler than you'd think. It boils down to this. You are trapped by your own history. Think about it. Your past experiences, they write this script that you start to believe is permanent. Every single time you hit that snooze button, it just reinforces the belief, I can't wake up early. You have a few awkward conversations, and suddenly the story becomes, well, I'm just not good at meeting new people. Your history literally builds this cage of limitations that dictates what you think is even possible for you in the future. Okay, so if our history is the trap, the big question is, how do we break out? Well, it starts by decoding your willpower. And here's the huge mental shift. We tend to think of willpower as just brute force, gritting your teeth and just pushing through. But this isn't about forcing yourself to do anything. It's a much smarter game. It's about strategically proving your old beliefs wrong with cold, hard evidence. This whole strategy actually has a name, and it is the absolute core of what we're talking about today. It's called the impossible task advantage. So what is the impossible task advantage? It sounds kind of dramatic, but it's actually incredibly simple. You just pick one small task you believe is impossible for you, you put it on your calendar like a meeting you can't miss, and then you just do it. The whole point is to collect data, to gather proof that your old limits are just a story. And when you do this, it creates this incredible flip in your mind. On one side, you've got your history screaming, waking up at 4:30 a.m. is impossible for me. But on the other side, your single action proves something totally new. My limits are just a story I told myself. You are literally using these tiny actions to rewrite your own internal programming. Now, when you start doing this over and over, you're not just ticking boxes off some to-do list. You are building something profound, something lasting. You are literally constructing the architecture of invisible confidence. And look, this isn't the loud, look at me, chest-pounding kind of confidence, not at all. It's a deep, quiet, internal certainty. It's that unshakable knowledge, backed up by your own evidence, that you are so much more capable than your history ever led you to believe. And the process to build this is just beautiful in its simplicity. Number 1, identify a tiny, impossible task. 2, intentionally schedule it. Don't just hope it happens, put it on the calendar. 3, complete it. Just once is all it takes to get started. And 4, this might be the most important step of all, acknowledge the proof. Take 30 seconds to consciously say to yourself, wow, I just did the thing I was so sure I couldn't do. I want you to think of your old limitations like a solid brick wall, okay? Built from all your past failures and doubts. Every single time you complete one of these impossible tasks, you're putting a tiny crack in that wall. And over time, those cracks spread and they connect, and eventually that whole wall just crumbles. So let's bring this all home. I'm going to leave you with this one thought. Don't worry about changing your entire life overnight. Just look at the next 7 days and ask yourself this simple question. What impossible belief will you shatter this week?